Hey guys, welcome to Everyday Fitness. My name is TJ, and here I want to help you get outside and enjoy your hobby to the fullest. Whether that's mountain biking, kayaking, surfing, fishing, rock climbing, whatever it is that you do, I want to help you be better at it. This video specifically is for the new kayaker, the new whitewater kayaker, someone who's just started. Maybe you're thinking about purchasing a boat, maybe you've got the boat, maybe you've hit the river a couple times. There's a lot of knowledge in this video that we wish we knew when we first started. A lot of mistakes and pitfalls. I asked my buddies, I asked the group that I'm a part of, I asked the Appalachian paddle enthusiasts, the apes, probably the best place to go for questions like this. I got all the best answers and questions, put them together in this video. You don't want to miss it, so let's get started. For this video, I had to be very careful not to let it be an hour long. It's already like 35 minutes long. I'm going to try to edit some of that down. We had a good time making the video, a little bit silly in the beginning, but it was an amazing time. I want to go ahead, off the top of this video, I want to mention two very important things. One of the best pieces of advice I got said, hey, get involved. Find your local group, your local clubs, and get involved. You can be surrounded by great knowledge, experience. They know when the rivers are running. They know where to go, where not to go. Second piece I accidentally glazed over doing this video was safety with this tab. This is the skirt you wear around your body. It goes on the outside of the kayak. It prevents most of the water from getting inside of your kayak. This little guy needs to be on the outside. If you put this around your kayak and this is on the inside, and you happen to have to pull out of your kayak, you're gonna have a really hard time. So as a beginner, what I always would say, I even do it now, when we're in the river, I look out and I say tab out, tab out, tab out. I make sure everyone's got their pull tab out of the boat. Every skirt has it, every whitewater skirt. If this stitching is broken, missing, damaged, time for a new skirt. Every version that I have has this little pull tab. Some of the cool ones have a little safety whistle. That's cool, some of the best have them. Always tab out. Anyway, that's a few small things I wanted to touch on before we actually go to the video. A lot of good information. Hope you guys enjoy it. Alright, so this video is about advice that we're giving to new kayakers. Such as Chris tomorrow.
Nude kayak.
Not nude.
Oh, nude.
New kayakers. Oh,
Get some sunscreen.
If you're kayaking you below the waist and you don't pull out, then no one will know.
Don't pull out.
Don't pull out if you're new kayaking.
This is not going well. Perhaps we should wait till a different day to do this.
Alright.
Keep the dongles away from sharp rocks.
Keep the dongles away from sharp rocks. Float down feet first. Don't float down on your belly.
Thankfully, we're not tired at all, so it'll come out perfect.
Is the video going yet?
Yes, it is.
Good.
Okay. One of the first things I wanted to talk about was learning to brace. Because I think we all immediately think that the most important thing is a kayak roll, which is good, but most of the time, as we've learned, a solid brace can prevent you from having to roll. Do we agree?
We do agree. There's no such thing as the boat being too far over to brace up, because the only thing making it fall is your body weight. When your body's in the water,
right,
it's weightless.
Well, I've had braces that I thought I was bracing the right side, but the current's also pushing that way.
Yeah.
Like surfing biscuits, like I'm going this way, current's this way, and I'm trying to go like this. I go to brace. I can't brace fast enough. It doesn't matter. Now it's wham, slam. Now, this is me personally. Oh gosh. Avoid using a flat paddle. We all agree on that?
We do all agree on that. For different reasons.
We all, different reasons. To me, personally, I think it's easier because that's what I've always learned. But looking at it now, I tell everybody, every new kayaker, don't get a flat paddle. That means if the paddles are like this, avoid it. Find one that has that 15 degree, 30 degree cant, whatever. Don't get these flat paddles. Even though that's what I love, that's what I use. If I need to go buy me a paddle right now or borrow any of y'all's, I am all jacked up. It feels so wrong because 90, this is a total guess, percent of paddles, 99 out there
Special. Unless it comes from Walmart.
This comes from Walmart, yeah.
And even they have options.
Yes.
It's the one in the back of my truck.
So you custom ordered mine from Warner?
Outdoor
Outdoor play.
play, I think it was.
Yeah. Because they don't have them in the stores.
No one carried them.
Yeah. So if you have the option, which you probably don't, we all agree that can't is better. We all agree for different reasons. So one of the comments came from one of the folks at Apes, Appalachian Paddle Enthusiast. This comment was from Brad Eldridge. He said, modern boats are designed so well, beginners can more easily get into rapids they don't have the skill for. Getting a good start with instruction can increase the odds of a safe progression into the sport. I thought it was super.
Very good.
Yeah, very
good
well
advice.
said. He had a lot of really good things to say. But your mullet, me and your mullet, it's hard for me to flip over.
Oh, the mullet's too big for me.
It is. But if I saw, hell, there's a mullet for sale, it's a good price, I'm gonna get it. Liquid Logic's a good brand. That's a good boat for me. I mean, but I can get your boat. I can lean over really, really far. And think, I can't tip in this boat, or it's so easy for me to roll because it's a good design and it's too big for me. I can think that I'm unstoppable and get myself in some serious, serious trouble. He talked about getting competent instruction, a formal class on basic kayaking fundamentals, swiftwater rescue, then a roll, and a combat roll. I love how he mentioned that combat roll last. He talks about fundamentals of being rescued. Because we all think that we're going to be the one rescuing somebody, but as a beginning kayaker, you're the one that's going to be rescued. You're going to swim out of your boat, and fortunately I've only swum at the river once, on a real river, but it was shallow enough that I was able to grab my boat and walk out. But we don't practice swimming with our gear on. We don't know what that's like. I mean, well, we have, but you don't, as a newbie, you don't think about, oh gosh, I should learn how to be rescued.
Learn to catch a rope.
Yeah.
Which is something we have not done well. Learn.
Someone's calling rope for a rope, and you're like, okay, why are they yelling rope? Because we're trying to save your life. Wearing a nose clip.
It is essential when you learn. It makes you more comfortable. It makes you more confident when you go upside down that you're not going to have a lot of water in your nose. I think that after you have mastered the roll, that you need to start at least winging yourself, if not get off it. It's not so much easier to be calm and have a good cardio when you're breathing through your nose instead of going down the river.
Yes, you do get dry mouth, and you cannot breathe as well. Because if you take a big breath right now, unless you have some sinus issues, you're going to breathe in through both. So we all know people that refuse to wear it because it's the second time I said his name. Dane Jackson doesn't wear nose clip, but Dane Jackson can roll a kayak, and he's a professional athlete. But we've all learned there's not that distraction of, okay, I got water coming in my nose, now it hurts, or you're losing your air by blowing bubbles out. Yeah, it makes no sense.
You asked me what I wish I knew.
Yes.
One of the things was that you don't need to tie your boats down nearly as tight, and that you need to be careful how you load them. We've destroyed some boats by laying them flat on a trailer rail, putting some camping gear in them, and hauling them for 3 hours. And the bottoms went from that to that. Zach's first mullet we warped. We tied it down.
Really?
Parked in the sun. The strap just bowed into the boat. Luckily he cracked that one and they replaced it.
Thanks, Liquid Logic. And a lot of people think they may have a leak in their boat, and so you mentioned filling the boat with water.
Yeah.
So dry on the outside, put on a flat surface, fill it with water, and see if water comes out.
Yeah.
That's good. But don't leave it out too long because that will also cause your boat to go. Okay, so I had a comment about learning to read the river, knowing where the line is. When I first started, I think you were the same way. When I first started, I was intentionally hitting the white stuff, right? Like, it's whitewater kayaking. You're supposed to put your boat in the big froth. And so I had no idea how to brace, no idea how to handle anything. So hitting the big of water, I was overworking myself. But explain what, like, if a rock is here and water's not going underneath it, and the sieves or shivs?
Sieves are what goes underneath it.
Sieves is underneath it.
Rock going underneath it, it's a sieve.
Right. But if water's not
like the
piling
rock
up on
your
it.
mom was swimming towards the other day, you see a big, huge rock, and there is nothing recirculating. There's no pile of water, but the water's current's clearly going to that rock, then it's going under that rock. And there's most likely other stuff, like tree limbs, that have gone under that rock. And you most likely will not come out.
One thing that scares me, I know that some of our buddies have done this, is whenever it floods, immediately going to the closest river and putting in thinking that you're doing whitewater kayaking, but you're not. You're trying to die. Knowing release times, knowing proper rivers, knowing rivers that are constantly or frequently kayaked and ran and are safe.
Particularly in our area, a flooded Piedmont stream is not whitewater.
No.
It's just a mess.
Zach, are all boats the same?
No. No, they're not. No, both are not.
What's the easiest boat for a beginner?
River runner.
A river runner. What's the most commonly purchased boat by a beginner?
Probably playboat.
I would think playboat.
Or a half slice.
And
Now everything's like half slice.
slices. Getting into a playboat and learning how to roll that thing versus rolling a riverboat or how to brace in that is different. I've been in all of y'all's boats. You have not been in my boats, but they are all very different. How are you going to get in my dagger?
1 foot at a time.
I'll have to melt you down, pour you in there. You'll fit.
Put the heat gun on it. Oh, weight matters too. Makes such a huge difference. So having the boat sized to your weight and your fit is important.
Yeah, you want to be, for river running purposes, about middle of the weight range. Playboating or squirt boating, you want to be closer to the top end of the range.
And I think it's a big tip to try as many boats as you can before you buy. Like where we go to the Whitewater Center, you can rent those boats. Of course, that takes money, but getting with a group of kayakers like us who have about every type of boat that you could want or get, as long as you're around my size, you can fit into all of them and try different boats. I wanted to ask you about, is there a difference between life vests? So you go to Walmart.
Oh yeah. You need, so every life vest has its own classification from the Coast Guard.
Right.
In order to be whitewater certified, I believe it's 3 is what you need.
I think it's 3.
Because 1 is just a flotation device, 2 is like when you're on a lake. There's orange ones that just go over your head, and then 3 is classified for whitewater or like wakeboarding kind of things.
Right. And because I see, like, it seems like everybody's first vest, if they're trying to save money, nothing against NRS, but they get that cheap bottom of the line. And then one comment was, don't buy the cheap stuff because you're going to buy the good stuff eventually. I mean, if you got to get into it and your money's tight, I understand, get what you can, but...
Well, you can also wait until, like, Green River Adventures?
Having a sale right
They're
now?
selling off a bunch of Astral YTV vest and kayaks and Warner paddles. So you can get the good stuff used for cheaper.
And the Whitewater Center does their demo boats like that every year.
Demo boats and paddles.
Does the NOC still do that? Because my Dagger is an old NOC boat.
NOC does, and Green River right now is selling boats as well. Green River Adventures.
You don't need new right off the bat.
Of course, inspect it for damage, running into trees, people sewing on patches and damaging the quality of... If a guy or gal has all the gear, kayak, helmet, top of the line, everything, do you assume they automatically know what they're doing?
No, that's what you assume.
No.
But it's not necessarily. That's assuming is always a mistake.
I think you were with us on the Green River years ago. This dude, we didn't know it. We were still in like sit-on tops with the orange life vest and like skateboard helmets. This dude,
fishing vest modified.
fishing vest, and dude comes down carrying his kayak with $2,000 worth of gear. I'm like, oh, this guy's a pro. Hey man, can I go with you guys? We're like, yeah, absolutely. We thought we were going to see something. First off,
My first question was, no, we're putting in. I thought
Really?
he was coming off of the upper,
oh,
or off the narrows. I said, no, we're putting in. He said, that's why down to the next parking lot, I'm just looking for a shuttle ride back. Sure.
knowing what we know now about that section of the river, we should have known. Maybe he's not what we thought he was. But every rapid he rolled, and
And pull.
And swam.
And
Yes.
swam.
Every rapid.
every single time. Now, had we known that, we'd have been mentally prepared, and we still would have helped the guy, but we thought we were to learn something from this guy. Like, you know, if he were starting
We
talking
learned
about,
something.
we learned something. You know, had we started taking his advice about technique and stuff, we would have thought that he was serious, but he was not. But he didn't act like he knew everything. He just we assumed.
We assumed he knew everything. We came up, he was there role practice. He was there for role practice, is what he said.
We got a lot of practice pulling and swimming.
Yeah.
When you're in the river, and you're flowing with the river, how does etiquette work? If there's somebody surfing the wave in front of you, who has the right of way?
Whoever's moving down the river
So the person surfing in the hole
should yield right away.
should at least try.
Should at least try.
And I know sometimes when I'm surfing, I'm at the mercy of whatever happens while I'm in that wave. Sometimes I can get out of your way, sometimes I can't. Do you know about boat ramps, like if you're in the lake? Like you wait in line, you're supposed to wait in line, right? I think it'd be nice to ask permission first in front of you. Hey, I'm literally going to carry my kayak out of here. Can I just cut in front of you real quick? Don't just cut in front of the boat. That's one comment was like, watch YouTube videos from competent instructors. I think we've all watched Eric Jackson's videos. Seth Ashworth has great ones.
Nick Troutman does really good instruction.
Troutman does.
Nick Troutman.
But I don't know if he does like beginner. I know he's got like how to teach youth and things like that. I don't know if he does roles.
I'll look them. I'll put links to these folks in the show notes. But YouTube is a great resource. But also YouTube includes me. Are some people some nincompoops out there, so be careful what you watch. I think that was all of my main. One thing I wanted to say, one very important thing, is have fun. If you're not having fun, stop. That's important. Any thoughts, questions, comments, concerns? Oh, boofing. Oh, yeah. Gracious, why didn't I think about that? Yeah. How to boof.
Which also, I will say, boofing in this sport is different than what probably everybody else thinks.
Yes, right.
About boofing.
I have read and heard some conversations about that term and how in kayaking it means something, and other people hearing it doesn't take it the same way.
No, not the same. Not the same.
A boof stroke is not.
It's a little different.
Clearing a drop, whether several feet or a few inches, and getting the nose of your boat properly positioned so that you're not either getting so much water to the face, getting
Same for the sound of the boat.
no.
Or recirculated if you're coming into a foam wall.
Yes.
You need to get a boof stroke to get that up so that you don't go in and then recirculate.
It's another newbie thing, not knowing how to boofing wrong, timing, and there is timing to it. Having
It
your
also teaches how to either boof or edge roll. So I actually did the what's he call it? The lean boof, where I would already have my kayak tilted
does.
at an angle,
That's what he does.
bracing through
Yeah.
the foam walls instead.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. We just learned that on accident. You just kind of like shimmy your, looking like you're waxing your boat over.
Just paddling. That's all I'm doing.
Trying to stay afloat.
Panic.
Sweep roll's the best roll.
That's C to C. Oh my gosh.
It is definitely.
Oh, okay then.
Let's have that
okay.
talk.
All right.
I think it's definitely subject to body type.
Body type, boat type, position type.
Boat type don't matter. It's all about body. It's whether or not you can get your body fully over into the seat position, getting that hand close to the surface.
Okay.
If you cannot get your hand close to the surface, you need to sweep instead.
I'm a
it
pretty limber
automatic-
guy, and my upper body is unproportionately long. So C to C, I can.
It's a piece of cake for you.
It's so easy.
C to C is great for you. Mom can't get to C to C.
Last year she was doing a C to C. This year she's been struggling. Zach, she said, I can't get over there any further. I said, last year she could. She said, yeah, but I'm fatter now. Zach said, Zach looked at me like this. And he just stared at me. So I said, all right, let's go to the sweep. So she kind of did a modified, but she popped up twice, just like that.
So I've said this in, I don't know what video it was. There's so many arguments of what roll is better, but whatever roll gets the breathing in out of the water fastest and the safest is the best. So learning more than one roll and learning how to roll on either side, to me, is important, because you may flip over, not in this position, you may flip over now over here. So are you going to bounce around the bottom, trying to get yourself over here to set up? Now, of course, in the beginning, you're going to learn one side, but knowing both, I think, is important.
Yeah, put the,
Tape on a paddle.
yes.
Yes. There's a great video of someone making fun of Dane Jackson about a black shaft. He just edited and it was just nothing about the same black shaft, black shaft, black shaft, black shaft. Amazing. I don't know who edited it. It was great. I think he said it like 15 times, like a 5-minute video about taping it, taking good Scotch 3M electrical tape, high temperature, and putting some sort of pattern, putting indicator marks on it. But when that black shaft falls in the water, it makes it really difficult to see. Now, if you're at the Whitewater Center, it's all going to the same direction. You can find it. But
If you're on a river.
an actual river, that paddle's gone.
That's another thing, color.
Color.
When you're choosing your gear, don't
Oh,
choose dull,
Lord.
dead grass green.
So everything I own is apparently some earth tone color, and I try to get out of that, but I just gravitate to, ooh, that looks black and dark and green.
Yeah, dull colors and white. I don't think either one should.
And that's
be
all I've got is
in
white and
whitewater
gold.
gear.
Because they need to see your butt going on the river so they know where to throw that rope. So color matters, that's what you're saying.
I think you want to avoid having white helmets.
I started off with a white helmet with blue visor. Now
Bright green,
bright green.
beautiful.
Bright green.
Look at the Nantahala pictures from yesterday. You can find you in that foam, but you can't see that helmet at
Can't see
all.
my helmet?
It's
No.
gone.
You see the blue strike? I got a strike, what I have?
You got a
Paddle?
strike, yeah.
See the blue strike paddle sticking out?
You can't see your
You
helmet.
can't see my helmet.
see your
You
helmet.
can't see my black diaphragm.
I'm in the same hole on the same photos,
Yep.
and you can see my helmet and paddle sticking out.
If you need to be rescued, you like to have something on there.
Like if you're doing a Navy SEAL raid at night, try not to be seen. Go for it. But
This is what I have. This is all dark stuff. Alright, so that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I know it was pretty lengthy, but I think there's a lot of really good information there. Most of my videos have been about fitness. Recently, I've been really focusing on whitewater kayaking. I've got a great video about kayak-specific exercises. When you're kayaking, a lot of these injuries or soreness are in the shoulders, low back, and hips. I really worked through that, kind of explained some great movements behind that. Click that video, watch it. It's probably one of my favorites. I give a huge thank you to the Apes, the Appalachian Paddle Enthusiasts. That Facebook page was just great. I got a lot of good information from their comments and from some private messages that I was sent. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to put a link to their Facebook page in these show notes. Go down below, click that, and I'll also put a link to the chat where I've got a lot of this information. I took their info, things I already had, merged it together, made this great video. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, of course. If you have any other tips, I'm sure there's some things that I missed. By all means, please comment. This is a huge community where we try to help each other. I only want to better the sport and build other people up. So if you've got some great advice, maybe something I missed, put it in the comments. Let me know what's going on. I'd be happy to discuss that. We need to share that with other people. Let's help other people avoid the pitfalls that we had when we first started kayaking. A huge thank you to all the guys that sat around the table with me and endured all those questions. You guys are awesome, and you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Keep up the good work.